Hey, today we are going to have our lesson on testing hypothesis involving population proportions. In this topic, we will test the hypothesis using the traditional method, or we call it the classical method. Before we go further, let's first have a drill and review on some concepts on proportion. You just answer whether the statement is true or false. Number 1. Percentages can be expressed as proportions. The answer is true. Remember that percentage is also called proportion, probability, and area. Next item. A proportion is obtained when the frequency of desired events is multiplied by the sum of the events. Now remember the formula in solving proportion? Yes, it's x divided by n. Thus, this statement is false. It is taken, proportion is obtained when we divide the desired events by the sum of its events. Next item. If n equals 25, the central limit theorem applies. The answer is false. With a sample size of 25, this is considered small. Central limit theorem applies when n is 30 or more. Next item. If the confidence level is 95%, then mu over 2 is 0.025. The answer is false. That is not mu. Instead, that should be alpha. When the confidence level is 95%, alpha is at 0.05 and alpha over 2 is 0.025. Next item. When x equals 124 and n equals 260, then x divided by n is equal to 0.48. We simply divide 124 by 260. And the statement is true. Next item. The p-value of z equals to is 0.4772. The answer is false. The p-value of z equals to is 0. But if we say the p-value between 0 to 2 is 0.4772, so the statement is false. Next item. The p-value of z less than or equal to negative 2 is 0.0228. If we draw the normal curve, the area covered from 0 to negative 2 is 0.4772. The area of half of the curve is 0.5. We subtract them. What's left is 0.0228. And this statement is true. Next item. When the null hypothesis is rejected, it means that a significant difference does not exist. Remember that when we reject our H sub O, we consider our alternative hypothesis. And in the alternative hypothesis, a significant difference exists. So the answer is false. Next. When the evidence is not enough, do not reject the null hypothesis. The answer is true. Next, when the evidence is enough to reject the null hypothesis, a significant difference exists. The answer is true. Because when we reject the null hypothesis, we consider the alternative hypothesis, and thus a significant difference exists. That ends our short drill.